Thank you, Mr.
Toastmaster.
Toastmaster. Name just kidding. Fellow members and most welcome guests. Most successful people have some characteristics in common. They are optimistic, hard work, avid readers, and they had come to the realization that Juliet was wrong. You don't know Juliet? She was the wife of Romeo. And according to Shakespeare, this teenager says that, what's in a name? That what we call the rose by any other name would smell as sweet? She was so wrong. Because facial recognition and remembering names are the two basic skills of society. That's how we build relationships. And we're not talking about just personal relationships, but business relationships. Sometimes you go and face a person that you know, and you're face to face, and the name escapes your mind, and you keep fishing and looking for that, and it makes for a painful and embarrassing moment. But in the business world, that proves to be so. I know. I was there. As an immigrant, working in a low-paid job, having a professional job that matches my skills and my passions and my style would be a dream. And I found it. I researched the perfect job for me. And I was so proactive that I went to the clinic and I talked to the manager of the clinic. And I presented myself and I said, I think I'm the perfect match. Do you have a minute? He gave me a couple of minutes and he asked me for my resume. Of course, next day he had me write my resume, my introduction letter, my portfolio, and it was outstanding. He invited me for a job interview, but it was going to be a panel interview. More people will be asking the questions. He was going to be there to take notes because he was going to be the final word. He's the one who hired. I did a great job. I worked really hard. I prepared and prepared. I was there convinced that was the right job for me. And at one point, one of the people who was interviewing me, he shook hands and he said, welcome aboard. I was thrilled, but I was keeping a secret. The general manager of the clinic, who was sitting down next to me writing notes, he knew the secret. I couldn't remember his name. I tried to conceal and smile, and the name was written in the notes I have in my lap. I didn't have a chance to look. I didn't get the job, and I knew that was the cause. And life is cruel sometimes. A few months after, I was going to Colombia, and for 3.5 hours, I was with my classmates from high school next to me. Pure coincidence. And we were talking and laughing, and the stories were so very engaging and cool that even passengers were laughing with us. And she was really engaged in her stories until she froze. And the hands on her face. I can stand the stress. I cannot remember your name. I was really cool, nonchalant, really hurt, but keep it cool. And we kept talking and we made a joyful flight there. But that night, just revisiting the experience in my head, I was actually hurt. My ego ran wild. I couldn't believe that I was that forgettable. I thought I was a fantastic person. Plus, I was her friend. She was bugging me for 2 years and then she forgot my name. Well, having the attention span of a flea, or having one of those midlife pauses where we forget things, they're excuses and they're valid excuses. But anyway, forgetting a name makes us feel humiliated and embarrassed, and it's for all to see. Then I was thinking, we Toastmasters, I know Toastmasters. Some of you are my friends, my personal friends, speaking all of you. I know we have something in common, and it's our hunger for personal success and achievement. And remembering a name is that important. We know that. Well, then I was wondering why people remember some names and they don't remember others. And being a nurse, I found a research done by Dr. Park in the University of Illinois. And he discovered with his team, it's very recent, that after the age of 20, our processing speed starts going down. So it's perfectly normal for any adult to forget a name. But why we are able to remember a name? Then I went physiology and I remember my people. The reason why we remember a name is because the love gene, oxytocin, do you remember the guy? He is the one in charge of making us bond to others. Then we get triggered to remember things that happen. But visual information is rich, while the name of a person is just few letters making sound. So it's easier to remember what we see. Therefore, we remember the face, but we have a hard time with the name. Well, we had to work hard at that because it's the first thing we had to do to establish relationships, remembering a name. They said that we forget a name as soon as we hear that. So to fight that, if we get to say the name of the person at least 3 times during the first hour, the chances we're going to remember that later on. More than 50% better than not saying it. Well, the other reason why we forget names is because we become absent-minded. Then we need discipline in that case, like being here and now and being committed to be in front of the person and remembering things. So that needs practice. But of course, we use practice, discipline, and we get committed to repeat the behavior, and we create the habit of being good listeners. And an old-fashioned one, write the name of the person you just met. Go to the bathroom, you don't want to be seen. That works too. But if there is an extreme case, like we have the tendency to forget names so much, I'm going to give you an example of a tactic. Put the face of the person with the name of the person in a very strange relationship. Use your imagination. For example, start by here. My name is Marianne Haymore, and I have a birthmark by my right ear. You're going to forget my name, so look at my face and then start remembering information from Marianne Haymore. Marianne has a dog. That dog could eat that. Marianne is from Colombia. Perhaps a flag can grow out of that. Quite big. Marianne Haymore has an accent. Maybe that is like a loud talking also. So you can create, the more creative and strange you become, the easier for you to remember somebody's name. Please don't say that out loud. A name is such a small thing, but it's so crucial. And I think about a name as I think about the minuscule grain of sand that goes inside the oyster. When that sand goes inside the oyster starts working and working and working at the point that that turns to be a pearl. That is the name. You start with the name. You start a relationship with a person or just a business relationship. From there, by working and working and working, better relationships are going to happen. We Toastmasters are committed to our personal success and to our personal achievement. That, remembering a name should be a rule. And for Juliet, I gotta tell her that she was wrong because a name is that important. Mr. Toastmasters, Mr. Thomas Van Antwerp.